All right, welcome back to Innovative Science. We have Miss Areed Sheikh with us, who's a final year biosciences student here at Zabist. And as we were discussing earlier, Miss Areed is very inclined towards molecular biology, और वो pursue भी कर रही है in Zabist. So I'll ask Miss Areed, what are you doing exactly in molecular biology?
Okay, so I'm not exactly doing molecular biology.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more nanotech.
Okay.
So, okay.
And what is nanotechnology?
Let me think how to explain that. Okay, so we know that we have bacteria and viruses that are on a very tiny scale.
Mm-hmm.
So we call that like size micro.
Okay.
So you take micro and you make it way smaller, you get nano.
Oh,
I can't make it any simpler than this.
Okay, I think कि हमारे सारे listeners को समझ आ गया होगा कि what nanotechnology is. So what exactly are you doing it in your nanotechnology, and are you doing it for a specific purpose? Yeah, just because आपका interest है तो you're just pursuing nanotechnology.
Okay, so for us, nanotechnology was just, it always seemed interesting because we haven't had a course on nanotech yet.
Okay.
So that's an elective that we have coming up in the next semester.
Alright,
So
तो मतलब पढ़ने से पहले ही आपने वो execute कर लिया है. That is so smart.
I mean, but we had that interest now. We started thinking about which domains we could go into because, as I mentioned, it wasn't really possible कि हम लोग genes पे direct cloning शुरू कर दें या genes को modify करना शुरू कर दें because that's not possible at Zabist. So we thought, okay, why not look at things that we can do here?
Alright.
And the thing that a lot of our seniors have been doing is nanotechnology. So they make nanoparticles. They're basically just tiny-sized particles of different. You could have metals, so silver nanoparticles that we're making right now, or zinc, or any other type of particles that are just really small.
Okay, ये जो आप बोल रही हैं हम, so what is this hum? Like your entire class is doing that or what?
Okay, so for FYP or the final year project that we have in our final year, our class is divided into groups of 3 or 4.
Alright.
And then each group decides on their own topic, and then that group works on that particular topic. So for me, I have 2 other people in my group. That's Muzammil and Musfir. They're my friends, and we're working on nanotechnology.
Alright, so like आपने पहले से decide किया हुआ था कि आपने इन दोनों के साथ ही अपना final year project करना है, या it was just like अच्छा बस इनके साथ करना है, कर लेंगे?
It was kind of like that because हमने ना पहले से like from the 4th semester we started doing projects together. Okay. So we realized okay, we have a good understanding, and then creatively we're on a similar level. So if I say, guys, let's give 200%, let's go shoot for the stars. They're just going to be like, no, why are we shooting for the stars? Let's shoot for the galaxies. Alright.
I think it's very important to have a good group, right?
Yeah.
So what is the importance of your group in your project?
So the most important thing is we have to manage our time accordingly because you don't really have a whole lot of time. You have a full course load. Okay. And then with that, you have to manage like whatever else you might be doing. So if you're working, if you have an internship, a lot of people in my class are doing internships, some are working part-time. So all of those things, managing that, and then coordinating with your group partners, dividing your work up efficiently because FYP में there is a lot of work. तो अगर आपने सही से उसको डिवाइड करके like आपस में कोऑर्डिनेट नहीं किया ना तो then it's just not going to be completed on time.
Alright. That seems like a big responsibility on 3 young people. आपने मुझे बता तो दिया that you're working related to nanotechnology, but what exactly is your topic? I think the audience and I personally would love to know that.
Yeah. Okay. We decided that we would take plants, a particular type of plant. It's called pulai. It's a tree, and it's indigenous to Pakistan.
Okay, and what is indigenous?
Indigenous means that it's only found in Pakistan.
Okay.
Like it belongs to Pakistan in a way. That it grows in KPK, it grows in Punjab, in Balochistan. So we thought, okay, so this is a plant that's easily available. Source we easily kar denge usko. And from that, we're making extracts. Yeah. So we take the plant, we dry it up, and then we basically dissolve it in the solvent, and then make this extract out of that. Okay. From that extract, we add silver nitrate and then make silver nanoparticles. So that might be a little bit much for the audience, but it's basically just us making silver nanoparticles that are really tiny. You said that.
All right. अच्छा, तो ये silver nanoparticles आपने फुलाई plant से बना तो लिए. इसका फायदा क्या है? Why are you doing this?
Okay, so there's a lot of things. Silver nanoparticles के अपनी beneficial properties.
और क्या beneficial properties होती
Beneficial
हैं?
properties, देखिए, whenever you have a smaller size, उसका surface area बढ़ जाता है. So what
Alright.
that means is reactions की speed हमेशा speed up हो जाएगी.
All right.
So whatever you're doing with those silver nanoparticles वो बहुत
Alright.
efficiently कर देंगे. And when you make it from an organic source,
Mhm.
just we're taking plants here,
Alright.
but people also use bacteria. But if you take a natural source or a living organism and make nanoparticles from that, तो उससे क्या होता है कि it's not toxic. Because normally जब आप silver nanoparticles industry में बनाते हो, do you use very dangerous chemicals,
All right.
and that's not really safe. So we thought, okay, why not employ this method? And say we're basically creating nanoparticles that can be used for, they're also used for drug delivery.
Okay.
So you can easily like package your drug, whatever drug you've made, इनके अंदर, and then you can deliver that safely into humans because they're non-toxic. So,
All right, because you're using a plant extract,
Yes.
that is why they're non-toxic. और जो फुलाई plant है, why did you specifically choose that plant? Just because it's available in Pakistan, या फिर उसके अपने भी कोई benefits हैं, like you know?
उसके अपने बहुत benefits
Okay.
हैं actually. Okay, so there's a lot of things जब आप plant को देखते हैं ना, तो you have to consider. So
All right.
the first thing that attracted us was एक तो उसके ऊपर इतनी research नहीं हुई.
All
So we
right.
thought, okay, why is this plant that's so abundantly found here
Mhm.
and that has beneficial properties? So it's antibacterial, meaning it basically prevents bacteria की growth,
Okay.
which is very important. It's anti-inflammatory, so जो swelling वगैरह हो जाती है, it's often
Okay.
used as miswak. That's one of the reasons why it's
Okay.
used
Miswak
as
comes from fulai.
Yeah,
All
miswak
right.
also comes from polai. It's
Miswak
not the
also.
only
All
source.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we thought, okay, if this is being used in tribal areas by villagers, obviously इसमें कोई beneficial properties तो होंगी.
Exactly.
So that's why we thought अगर हम लोग silver nanoparticles इस plant से बनाते हैं, इस tree से, तो वो silver nanoparticles भी और beneficial होंगे because इनकी अपनी beneficial properties भी होंगी, and then the tree itself, उसकी जो beneficial properties हैं, they also end up improving those particles.
All right, all right, all right. So all three of you are working on this project जहाँ पे आप कोई बहुत non-toxic drug delivery system बना रहे हैं और इसके और भी ज़्यादा uses हैं.
इसके बहुत सारे uses हैं.
Alright.
अभी तक we haven't decided कि हमें किस specific use के लिए जाना है because FYP is restricted to 6 months.
All
तो
right.
उस 6 months में you can make these particles and then उनकी एक application test कर सकते हैं. So right
Alright.
now we're leaning towards antimicrobial
All right.
क्योंकि antibacterial antibiotic resistance is very popular.
Yeah.
So that would make this a possible application for nanoparticles जो आपने organic source से synthesize किए हैं. So yeah.
All right. तो ये idea आपका था या आपके group members का था? Was there any conflict? You know, how did you all agree on this
I
one
would
thing?
say-
Because I feel like कि FIP जो होता है बहुत ज़्यादा specific होता है, right?
It definitely is very specific. The funny story is I actually basically came up with this idea while we were giving our midterms.
Okay.
And I mean, my friends are amazing, honestly.
Alright.
Like, we have almost little to zero conflict, which sounds
Okay.
very
Unrealistic.
unrealistic, but our conflict is restricted to just us being like कि नहीं लिखना मुझे या लिखना तुम्हें, editing मैं करूँगा,
Okay.
editing तुम करोगी, या जो भी like stuff like
Okay.
the stuff that's very minor and mostly related to documents. Like we don't oftentimes fight over ये मेरा idea था or I'm the group leader, anything like that.
Okay.
We're pretty much the opposite in that
Okay.
sense. We're like सबका idea है because
Okay.
you know when you start, I'm sure you'll experience this soon
Okay.
because when you start with an initial idea,
Yeah.
it gets worked on and improved on by each member.
Yes.
Each member gives
Absolutely.
their own contribution, so it no longer stays yours. It no longer
Okay.
stays one person's. It becomes this group's like proper project. It's not one person's idea.
Absolutely,
At
it's
least
not
most
one
ways.
person's idea, and I feel like it just आप लोग 3 काम कर रहे हैं, and I'm sure there's the entire Zabist faculty involved with it, and you know you're using Zabist facilities.
Mhm.
So are you conducting your project over here? What equipment are you using, and who's supervising you? We'll talk about it. But before we take a short break, can you please sum up your project in a single line?
Okay, so we're using Pulai extracts to make silver nanoparticles.
And that is the title?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So we will take a short little break over here, and when we come back, we are going to talk about how Zabist has been facilitating this wonderful group of students with zero to little conflict between them to carry out their final year project. And yeah, see you after this short little break.